invite Professor Kodandaram. I'm a little partisan to him because he's a political scientist like me from a university. So Professor Kodandaram, who is not from a political party in that sense, but he has been the leader in many ways of the Telangana movement, has been the chairperson of the Joint Action Committee. So I thought it's only appropriate that we take him in this session rather than take him in the other session which has experts and such like, because he has taken a very strong public position on this. Kodandaramji.
Thank you, Chairperson, for giving me an opportunity in this session. I would like to say at the very outset that the movement for a separate state is a very old and has a very long history. And it started, in fact, a few issues I would like to explain at this juncture. The merger of Telangana with Andhra was conditional, and the unity predicated upon the fulfillment of those conditions. The failure of the gentleman agreement led to the rise of the demand for a separate state. That one must understand. And with the failure of the gentleman agreement, the demand for a separate state has been going on. Everyone thought that the 1969 agitation has been suppressed and wiped out. It has not. In fact, it surfaced again and again in different forms in the Telangana region, and finally led to another powerful separate state movement in the 96. Now there is a fundamental difference between the 69 movement and the present movement. The 69 movement was built on some kind of a hatred towards the people of Andhra region. I am not saying it was a fight against injustice, violation of the gentleman agreement, violation of the safeguards guaranteed to Telangana region was the basic source of inspiration for the 69 movement. But it gave a call for Andhra go back. The entire people of Andhra should leave Telangana was the slogan of the 69 movement. This movement has a different premise altogether. It has been pleading for division so that Telangana can get equitable share of resources and also an opportunity to utilize the political power to its advantage. That is what Telangana is all about. It is a struggle for democracy, struggle for justice, and struggle for an equitable and inclusive growth. And this is not something that what I am, this is something which was also recognized by the Sri Krishna Committee. And Sri Krishna Committee has categorically stated that cutting across caste, religion, gender and other divisions, the Telangana movement brings a focus on the development of the region as a whole, a focus on rights and access to regional resources, and further it pitches for a rights-based development perspective whereby groups and communities put forth their agendas within a larger vision of equitable development. That's the basic inspiration of the ongoing movement. That inspires the ongoing movement, and therefore this movement, which started in 96, it is almost 19-year-old, this movement, the existing phase of this movement. And it went on as a campaign against injustice to begin with. And 2004 it turns into a political movement and aspires for a division of the region. And then the central government appoints a committee headed by Pranab Mukherjee. Pranab Mukherjee has consulted a number of political parties and acquired letters from different political parties. Most of them have agreed for the division of the state. And later the Congress party has consulted its own members on a number of occasions. And the State Assembly, the issue was taken up for discussion in 2009. And a Roshaya committee was appointed to look into the issues with regard to the division of the state. Subsequently, in 2009, an all-party meeting was convened, and it's only after all political parties have agreed that the union government has taken a division in favor of has taken a decision in favor of the division. And this is what one must bear in mind. and subsequently 3 more all-party meetings were convened. In the next 2 meetings, there was no consensus at all. But the last meeting, which was held in December 28, 2012, all political parties have again agreed for division of Andhra Pradesh. So, excepting CPM. So this decision is an outcome of prolonged deliberations and consultations. There were number of efforts made by both CPI, BJP and the Telangana Rashtra Samiti MLAs to discuss this issue on the floor of the House. They were either sent out of the assembly, or the assembly was simply, the discussions were not permitted at all on the floor of the House. So you cannot say, that these issues, people have refused to raise these issues on the floor of the House. So I am only giving this small narrative to show that this decision is based on prolonged deliberations. It is not a decision taken without consultation. And there have been a number of discussions on this issue. And almost all important political parties have been consulted again and again. All important political leaders in the state have been consulted again and again. All of them, without exception, with the exception of the CPM, they've all committed to the formation of the Telangana state. There is no second opinion on this in all political parties. This opinion, they've already taken a decision. Even before, in 2009 elections, every political party has promised, except CPM, promised a separate state of Telangana. So, to say that, the decision has been taken all of a sudden without consultation is incorrect. I'm coming to that. Secondly, everyone knows that this division cannot be stopped. It is irrevocable. And in fact, the Sri Krishna committee has already recommended that status quo ante is not possible at all. Status quo is not possible at all. Andhra Pradesh is in a very deep political crisis. Any efforts to continue this would only aggravate the economic crisis within the state. And therefore, let us all agree that division is inevitable. And the third point which needs to be discussed, is about Hyderabad. Over the last 20 years, particularly during the tenure of Chandrababu Naidu and Rajshekar Reddy, the entire focus has been on the real estate driven development. And the focus has been on Hyderabad. You develop IT sector, and around it an a real estate business also has prospered. And that becomes the focus of the entire development policies during the Chandrababu period, and also during the subsequent, under the subsequent regimes. What I am trying to argue is that if you agree on a few issues, the way forward is easy to identify. Number one, let us all agree that everyone has agreed to the division of the state. Except that the focus over the last 20-25 years in Andhra Pradesh has been on Hyderabad. Time has come that we should shift the focus, concentrate on the development of the other region. The only way forward is to divide Andhra Pradesh. Now the third important issue is that in case you agree to this division, all other issues can be debated and resolved with the help of the technical assistance. Over the last few weeks, a number of articles have appeared. A number of articles have appeared in all the leading dailies. A number of discussions have taken place in all the leading dailies. And these discussions have been organized by all the channels. And they have clearly identified, the way forward. It is not a difficult issue. For example, mention has been made about the distribution of Krishna waters. Now, whether you like it or not, some projects have been constructed without any permission. And given this, obviously you have to now find a way to share the available river water resources. You can't really, even if the existing state continues, I am asking a very simple question. Can you deny water to Telangana? You have to allocate water to Telangana region. And because the allocation of water to Telangana region is not possible within the existing political unit, we are pleading for division. And division makes the distribution of river water resources inevitable. And therefore, what is the way forward? I would like to mention that the way forward is not very difficult. After the Congress Working Committee passed the resolution, and after the UPA Coordination Committee passed a resolution, the process for the formation of Telangana has not moved an inch further. No efforts have been made to carry it forward. Let us recognize this fundamental fact. And then if the decision if the resolutions are implemented, some mechanisms come into existence that provide opportunity for deliberation, discussion and resolution of all the important issues. The Congress Working Committee suggests a number of mechanisms for deliberation. For example, to deal with the water issues, it suggested a special expert committee can be created. For example, it suggests that on the question of Hyderabad, the legal administrative mechanisms can be debated and worked out. What I am suggesting is the one and the only way forward is to pass that the cabinet should take a decision to implement the CWC resolution.
Yes.
If the cabinet takes a decision, number of mechanisms come into existence. To begin with, a technical committee can be created to deal with the water issues. Another committee comes into existence to look after the economic and security of the people living in different parts of the state. Another mechanism comes into existence to deal with Hyderabad. The deliberations are not completely closed. To say that, it becomes an entirely Congress party internal issue is incorrect. In fact, at this point of time, it is the Congress party's internal affair. But once the UPA government takes a decision, there will be a mechanism to deliberate the issue, and there will be a scope for every section, every concerned section to participate. Finally, sir, the state government and the number of the High Court has not given any conclusion, but the discussions in High Court, there is a case on the employees' agitation pending before the High Court, and these discussions clearly show that the state government is not making any effort to talk to the employees. Who will do it? The state government. The state government is completely ignoring these issues. It is deliberately, the chief minister is issuing statements which provoke the division, and deliberately he is trying to argue out the case of one group and ignoring the interest of the other group. Now therefore, the way forward is, chief minister should act as a representative of all the people. He should not represent only one segment and ignoring the interest of the other. Particularly, he promised Telangana state and became a chief minister only after promising Telangana state. So I am only summing up. This demand is a democratic demand, and we have the Constitution. The Indian Constitution provides a beautiful framework within which all issues can be debated, raised and discussed. And this constitutional process has not yet begun. And when it begins only after the cabinet passes the resolution. And we have been emphasizing, the Telangana movement has been emphasizing that the cabinet should pass the resolution and create the necessary mechanisms for deliberation. On our part, the Telangana movement is very clear that the division must be peaceful. The normal peaceful relations between the people of both the regions should continue, and it insists that the prosperity of both the regions hinges upon peaceful relations and fraternal relations between people living in both the regions. Any attempt to aggravate tensions is bad for both the regions in the long run. This is the position of the Telangana movement, and therefore we plead for peace, and we feel that, a negotiated settlement is in the best interest of both the people.
Thank you.